A big decision, of course, coming up for Peyton Zabel. He's got to make a decision whether he wants to sign a major league contract with the Milwaukee Brewers, whether he wants to play football and baseball at Augustana. Here is Jason with Peyton Zabel.
I knew there had been some scouts in the stands just watching, and all of a sudden just more and more started popping up, and I didn't really think anything of it, and I just tried to pitch the way I had learned, and next thing you know, they're talking about the draft, and I'm like, I didn't really even know when the draft was, like what it was about. So we learned a lot through the process, and it just happened really fast. I was actually in the dorms with the guys. Yeah, we were just hanging out, having a good time, and one of the head scouts called me from the Brewers, and they're like, "Hey man, did you hear the news?" And I was like, "What news?" And they told me I got drafted, and it's kind of just like a really surreal experience, really just humbling, and it was awesome though. I was bored in class in personal finance, and I was just like, man, I should just learn how to throw a slider. And so I looked it up on YouTube, found a video, and I thought I was throwing a slider the whole time, but the guys with the Brewers were like, they watched it and they're like, no, it's definitely a curveball. So I was like, okay, whatever. So, just got it from YouTube though. Honestly, I don't know, I just like competing. And so as a little kid, my dad said, you're not going to specialize, you're going to do, we're not worried about, just doing one sport. He wanted me to do everything, have the experience and everything like that. But my first love was actually basketball. So I grew up really loving basketball, and I wanted to play college basketball and everything. And Coach Poppinga, actually one of my high school football coaches before he left for OG, he asked me, he said, what's your favorite sport? I said basketball, obviously, And he's like, I'll ask you that same question again when you're a senior. And I was like, okay, this guy's crazy, I was kind of scared of him at the time. He's a big, scary dude, and but now that I look back on it, it's baseball and football, and it's awesome though that I get to play all the sports, and it's been so awesome with the guys that I've had the journey with, and just growing up in Pierce, it's been awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have criticism either way. I mean, there's gonna be people that say I did the wrong thing no matter what, but I'm really just gonna do what, where my heart leads me and what I think is the right decision, and ultimately it is my decision. So, I really love Augustana, and I mean, that's where I want to be, but at the same time, that's an opportunity of a lifetime. So, I'm just gonna do what my heart says and go that way, and hopefully I make the right decision. Blue team definitely has a lot more fun than red team. We have some good times, and it's been a lot of good guys. It's been a fun week. So, red team, they're pretty intense over there. We're pretty laid back over on the blue team. I mean, look at. Well, I'm a big Peyton Manning fan, but he's not in the league anymore. He's a great person off the field, really good quarterback on the field. I really like Johnny Manziel too, the way he played, but he's kind of went through some issues, so I probably shouldn't say that on TV. But then pitchers, I don't know. I like the old school guys. I like Nolan Ryan. I don't know. I like Justin Verlander. So yeah, I'm just a fan. I like the Colts in football. That's my favorite team. But for baseball, I just enjoy watching good baseball. I don't really have a favorite team. So shout out to the offensive line. They've been doing an awesome job this week. They're a little underhanded. We only got 6 of them right now, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, they've been doing awesome for us.
You might be playing offensive line by then.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Coach said they might need to stick me in there, but we'll see what happens.
Don't tell the Brewers.
Exactly. We'll just keep that part away from them.
All right, Jason, he's headed to Augustana, as far as we know. That's the plan right now. Augustana to play football and baseball. And these were his numbers from the high school season in baseball this year.
Yeah, not bad. His whip was well below zero. His ERA, 0.18. And look at that, 79 strikeouts, 38 innings. That's over 2 per inning. This guy was a dominant pitcher as a senior, and he really didn't get on people's radars. Just like he said, even a month ago, he didn't know when the MLB draft was or anything about it. And then to go from there to getting on radars to the Brewers telling him that he was a top 10 talent, but they weren't going to take him at that because he wasn't quite sure. There's a little bit of a risk there taking a guy who wants to play football.
If he'd have been committed and said, I want to play baseball, the Brewers would have taken him in the first 10 rounds.
I mean, that's the idea that I get. You never know. You can't believe people for sure. But I think for sure he could be a top 10 pick if he waits a couple years and goes back into the draft. And that's a whole nother conversation right now. He's still trying to decide. He has till July 16th to make a decision if he wants to accept the Brewers deal, which he hasn't even been offered a deal yet, but he has until July 16th to accept that deal and to go the baseball route, or enroll in college like he'd planned on doing, staying a Brewers property for a year, or just over a year, and then re-entering the draft in a couple of years if he wanted to do that route. But he wants to see where football takes him too. I mean, this is not just a baseball deal.
And you can see how you get lost. The Major League Draft is 40 rounds. I mean, it's more than 1,000 players get picked. Zabel was right in the middle of that, pick number 575. And you talk about a signing bonus at that point. Through the first 10 rounds of the Major League Draft, those signing bonuses are pretty much locked in. When you get down to the 19th round where he was, they can offer. It could range wildly.
Yeah,
right?
It's not like a different sport where if you're a late draft pick like that in the 19th round, you're going to get just a few bucks. Anything from the 11th round on, you can pay as much or as little as you want for that player, depending on, again, risk and depending on how much he's valued by other teams, or so many different factors that go into it. He did say there's somebody in Pierre who used to be a Major League Baseball scout who's helped him do a little bit of advising. He's not got an agent at this point. He's going to let his dad handle some of the numbers and then get some advice from people he knows around. But my hunch is at this point, he wants to see how this college thing works out. And if it does work out, and he'll pick one sport or the other at that point, and then in a couple of years, I believe, he will take that chance of maybe getting redrafted in baseball.
Choice to be made by July 16th.
July 16th.
Whether to take the Brewers offer or...
He hasn't had an offer yet, though. So if that offer is much more than he thinks, we could be telling a different story in a couple of weeks here, Tom.
All right, yeah, it'll be fun to follow Peyton Zabel along the way. He and the Blue Squad in the lead 27-0 at halftime.